Welcome back to another episode of Ready Set Recap, where we recap what's been going on. I'm Daniel, joined as always by my best friend Skyler.
Hello, hello.
This week in the news, we break down the winners from the 77th Primetime Emmy Awards. We got a hint at who the villain for The Batman 2 is going to be. We might be seeing Sony's Wolverine game as early as next week. We have rumors about the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, and Borderlands 4 is off to a rough start. But before we get into all of that, Skyler, what's been going on with you this week?
Well, you know me. You know how I operate. I saw some movies this week.
Sounds about right.
I saw the new Darren Aronofsky movie, Caught Stealing, which stars Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, Matt Smith with a mohawk, if you've seen the trailer. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It got serious at points, but it was mostly kind of like, I won't call it a wacky thing. It's wackier than anything you'd expect from Aronofsky. Normally, you kind of expect like grandiose, poetic, epic type stuff from a lot of his last works. This one's more of a straightforward kind of crime, funnier movie, I suppose. But it was enjoyable. I really like Austin Butler in it. So I would give that a softer recommendation than what I would give my next movie. The Long Walk came out, and I really liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you go to the treadmill screening?
No, I didn't go to the treadmill screening.
Sounds like a half measure.
It might be fun to do at, when it releases on streaming at home. You get on your own treadmill if you have one, and you're just like, I'm going to walk I lost. It's 5 minutes and I'm tired. Yeah, no, The Long Walk I think is really good. Obviously, I'm a fan of Stephen King's work. Always have been. And this very much feels Stephen King, as you'd imagine it would. It's got a good cast of young actors, young characters. It's very dystopian in its setting, but almost hopeful in how the characters interact with each other through the horrible situation that they and the world they live in have put them in. It's not like, if you've watched Squid Game, which I know you haven't, Daniel, but that's okay.
No,
if you watch Squid Game,
couldn't care less.
It's very much like, yes, our situation we're in is terrible, but everyone turns on each other because humans are kind of monsters, and when we put ourselves in these situations, the ugliness comes out. When this movie, you think that's going to start happening, these young men just kind of like open up a little bit and speak their feelings, and there's no like, the system is the bad guy, not so much any particular character in The Walk. It's very touching and very sad. Very sad. I liked it. It was a good movie.
Do you have anything else this week?
I'm caught up on Peacemaker.
Ooh, yeah? How you feel about that?
Solid thumbs up.
Yeah. Including this week's episode?
Yeah, I saw.
I have theories about this season, which I guess isn't spoilers, so I guess we could talk about it. Because it's all just guessing. But
what are you cooking with?
I think, first of all, okay, so because we know that he like is jumping back and forth between the quote unquote real world and his like alternate dimension where his family's alive. That's like the premise of the show. That's not spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
And he, in the most recent episode, sort of jumped there in a way that like feels final, which again is in the trailer. Right. So no spoilers still. I will say the way in which he makes that last jump does feel very much like a suicide. Like, I think that's what they're going for. Like him leaving the note and all the stuff that he says. I think that it's supposed to feel that way. And so I actually think that I think season 2 is like a retelling of the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice, where like Eurydice dies. I think she gets killed by a viper. And then Orpheus has to go to hell to get him back. Or to get Eurydice back, who's a woman in the myth. And I think they're doing that sort of plot line, but with like the suicide twist. And so right now, that other world looks super idealistic because he's supposed to see it as like, he's in a better place now, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But there's going to be some twist, and there's been a lot of speculation as to what that is, and I do think a lot of the speculation I've seen online is probably true, but I won't get into that. And I think in the next like episode or two, that's going to become clear, and it's going to be like, oh, actually, this other dimension sucks way worse than ours.
Yeah.
And so actually, we're in hell. And I think to take the sort of like myth aspect of it, I think that Chris Peacemaker is Eurydice, and then
Right.
Harcourt is both Orpheus and I guess the Viper, because like she's also sort of the reason that he went there to stay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty interested to see where it goes. I think it's gonna be really interesting. But I'm like really really invested. I think especially like Adebayo in the last couple episodes, 10 out of 10. Really excited about
Right.
it.
There's a particular moment with Vigilante in the most recent episode that really it was like a gut punch of feelings
Yeah.
where he just kind of breaks down, and I'm like, man, I want to see more here with him specifically.
Yeah. Well, because in the Peacemaker like podcast that they're doing with James Gunn,
Right.
one of the things that he was saying is like, oh, all of the characters in season one had like these really important arcs about like changing who their character is,
Change.
except Vigilante. And he didn't specifically say like, so I'm going to give him one in season two, but it felt implied. And so I think that's like the start of that. I think he's going to be, I mean, he's already a little different. He's not like quite as psychotic this season, but I think that he's going to,
He
take
hasn't
sort of the biggest swing.
he hasn't gotten any like major play yet. I think with the teaser for next week was the first time we've even seen him in the suit.
He only hasn't gotten play because no one will ask him about like birds or spiders.
Or manta rays,
manta
as we
ray.
learned in this most
He's
recent
a
one.
big animal guy. Oh, that's what it's gonna be. He's gonna turn into Animal Man.
Oh no, don't do that. Speaking of animals, without going into it for those who haven't seen it, something's going on with Eagly.
Yeah, I'm actually not
he's-
100% sure if that's like real life or not. You know what I
Man,
mean?
well,
the way that it's played, it could be Michael Rooker's character's really high.
yes, that but there was definitely other stuff going on.
Yeah, he's eating
I
bologna.
think
That
s-
can't be good for him.
He wasn't the only eagle there, right?
True.
So
Unless he
the
was.
rest, man, that's I don't.
Who knows?
Something's going on with Eagly.
Who knows
Anyways,
how high he was?
Anyways, what have you been up to other than Peacemaker?
Not a ton, truth be told. I have been watching a little bit of TV, but I haven't like really caught up on much of anything. I've been staying caught up on One Piece. I've been staying caught up on Peacemaker. I only watch things with peace in their name.
No matter how it's spelled.
No matter how it's spelled, doesn't matter what kind of piece, I'm into it. So I think where I am instead going to spend this period for me this week is in preparation for next week, when, of course, as we all know, season 49 of Survivor does begin airing next Wednesday.
Hey, there it is.
So I'm going to use this time for my predictions for what I think the season's going to be. I think I'm getting really good vibes from the Red Tribe, from the Uli tribe. I think that based on all of their like pre-show interviews, that they seem like some of the more interesting people and the ones that the camera's going to want to like show more of. And sometimes that also implies that one of them is going to end up being the winner. The two that people keep talking about are this guy called Rizzo and another girl called Savannah, because we know that they're competing on the following season. Season 50 is a returning season, and they're the two from this season who are coming back. And so people are
Rizzo
like,
the
oh,
rat?
no, he calls himself Riz God. It's not great, to be honest with you. He seems like kind of a fuckboy, but like in a fun way.
But not the Muppet.
We can't prove that for sure. The Muppets did briefly get canceled, and I'm not really sure what happened with that. So who knows?
Okay, so but as far as we know now, there are no Muppets on Survivor.
There is a producer for Disney, so it's possible that like he's kind of Muppet related. It really feels like the red team is going to be the one that has the most like engagement, because they have this guy called Nate, who he is a producer specifically for the MCU. So we know that. And then we know that two of the other people on that tribe come back for season 50. So that's got to mean something. So I was watching them, and I actually don't think any of those three win, because I just don't see a person like a film producer has plenty of money. He doesn't need to win. And so I don't necessarily think people would vote for him at the end. And the other two, I just can't imagine them getting votes at the end, because they both read as villains, which is fine, but villains just don't usually win, especially the way that Savannah's talking. It just feels like that's so unlikely. I'd love it if it did. We haven't had like a proper villain in a long time. but I don't know, it doesn't feel right. So I'm actually going to probably put my vote on, there's this guy called Jawan, and I think he seems the most interesting. His whole story that he told, of basically being like, he's kind of like a trendsetter, but like in a positive, like a much more positive way, where like he comes from a place where not a lot of people like went to school or like got good careers, and he's done both of those things, and he's like encouraged people from where he came from to do the same. So I think he's really interesting. I think he's a good talker. I think he could potentially be a really good winner. There's a couple of other like really fun people on the other tribes, but I just don't see any of them making it to the end. And if they do, even if they end up winning at the end, I just don't necessarily think that they're gonna like be interesting to watch in comparison to the red tribe. Like there's a really buff guy who's like a male stripper, or used to be a male stripper. And he seems nice, but big buff guys never win the show because they get targeted super fast. There's like a lady who's also, I think, a musician or a rock star or something, and but her whole thing in her interview was like, people told me like I got fired from my old job because I was dressing too young, and so now I just doubled down on that. And so she's wearing like a bunch of like rainbow stuff, and she's like dyed her hair, and like she seems like a lot of fun. I just don't see her winning or doing particularly well. Which is the same for, there's like an older guy on the yellow tribe who he like throws bags at the airport is what he kept saying. So I guess he's like a luggage handler or something. So he's like stronger than he looks, but he's also like pretty old, and I feel like older people don't generally do well. There's been a couple exceptions like Gabler, but generally don't do super well. So I don't know. I will say I think the yellow tribe, the Hina tribe, is sort of screwed. I don't think they're going to do well at all. I think that they're going to see probably the first several eliminations. And the Kele tribe has by far the best tribe colors. It's blue, but like with a cool orange and stuff. And that's great. I bought that buff off of the CBS store, but
Tron Legacy.
It looks great, genuinely. But I really only like two of the people, maybe three of the people competing on that tribe. The other three are like they just feel kind of like milquetoast. Not like bad, but just like, I don't know that they're going to be interesting. So
yeah. I got you.
But we'll see. Definitely some big characters. And it's always that thing. Like I'm saying they seem milquetoast now, but it's always that thing in Survivor where before the season starts, you look at the people and you're like, oh, that's literally just 18 people. That's just 18 normal human beings. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then you watch them for 10 weeks and you're like, oh, actually, I love every single person on here. Like that happens every season for me. So it may get to a point in like week 5 or something where I'm like, you know what? Actually, I love Alex. And all I remember from his pre-show interview was him being like, I don't like that I have dirt on my feet. And I'm like, well, that's not a great sign for you there, Alex. But who knows? Maybe week 5 he'll do something. You know what I mean? Yeah, anyway, so I'm really excited about it. But let's talk about something more interesting. So I want to start with the 77th Primetime Emmys. But before we do that, actually, I do have one other thing that was announced alongside it that I want to congratulate you on. Congratulations on your new president, Sean Astin.
Oh, we've done it. Yeah.
So that's really cool. I don't know who the president was before. I think, wasn't the nanny? Wasn't she something?
Yeah, it was Fran Drescher.
Okay.
Fran
she was
Drescher.
president. I didn't know what she was. I knew she was in charge of something over there.
She would call me and leave me voicemails sometimes when things were happening.
Well, now it's going to be Samwise, so that's kind of cool, actually.
For reference, for those listening, I'm if I haven't said it before, I'm part of the Screen Actors Guild because of previous adventures in my life, and so I get to vote in things, and so it's really funny where you wake up and you have a voicemail. You're like, "What is this?" And it's like, "Hello, this is Fran Drescher. We need you to vote for this." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks, Fran."
So how did this work? Did she like retire or did she get primaried by Samwise Gamgee?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to this.
Okay. Did you vote for it?
No.
Okay. Well, he's your new president. He seems like a really cool guy. I've talked to him like once at a con, but that was it. So
his mom was a previous SAG president, I believe.
Oh.
So yeah, he's a real Nepo baby.
If we got to have a Nepo baby, I'll take good old Goonies, Sean.
A real 60-year-old Nepo baby. How old is Sean?
I don't know. He's got to be in his 50s by now.
I'm so sorry, Sean. You're only 54. That was rude of me.
Yeah. He's your president. He's going to fire you. He's going to kick you out.
He's going to silence me for saying things he doesn't like.
Yeah. Presidents do love doing that. We also, at the Primetime Emmys, which is not... that SAG is TV as well, right? That's not like a different union.
Yeah, it's across the board. It's if you're an actor on the screen, you're part of the Screen Actors Guild.
Doesn't it like somehow not include voice actors though? That's like a different thing that's adjacent but not technically part of it, like video game voice actors in particular, because they had like a separate strike.
They did have a separate strike. I think it's a separate union. Listen, I'm not going to pretend that I'm well read on my union that I'm a part of.
Ah, come on, you work there. You're supposed to know these things.
Yeah, I didn't. Sorry.
But okay, so we had the 77th Primetime Emmy Awards. It was apparently a relatively good show. I didn't watch it. I thought maybe I would, but then I didn't. So here we are.
I didn't watch it either.
Here are some of the winners. So for Outstanding Comedy Series, we had The Studio from Apple TV win. That's Seth
Yeah.
Rogen's show, which is pretty cool.
Speaking of Seth Rogen, he's the one bringing the Muppets back.
Oh,
Yeah, I looked that up and I held on to it for this exact moment. I think it's a special, not a show, but it says Seth Rogen's making it and Sabrina Carpenter's gonna be in it. So if you like Sabrina Carpenter, theoretically she and I are part of the same guild, right? She was on
yeah, you should
stuff.
hit her up. You should get her phone number.
Oh, I'm scared.
I think we talked about this when we talked about the nominations. I do think it's weird that The Bear is considered a comedy, but that is in here. So The
Yeah.
Studio apparently better than this season of The Bear and better than Abbott Elementary, which I've also heard good things about. So
When we talked about it, I said I wouldn't call it a comedy. I would call it a drama that can be funny.
mm,
So I would have stuck it on the other side, but that's okay.
yeah, I think I'd probably agree with that. Speaking of dramas, best drama went to The Pit, which is it's a sort of serialized hospital show. Actually, the main guy in it was also from ER, so I guess that's what his career is.
Okay, medical drama.
There's
Brad.
a chance that it could be technically a spin-off of ER, and I wouldn't be able to tell you.
No, it just says previously worked together on ER. I don't think it's
Gotcha.
I don't think it's related to ER.
It is surprising to see The Pit winning this over so many other shows that I've heard tons of people talking about constantly, so like the new season of Andor and Last of Us and Severance and White Lotus. When I've heard literally nobody talking about The Pit ever, not even like my sisters or mom who would be probably into a doctor show. So I don't know if I haven't watched The Pit, so I can't say that it's a bad choice, but it is a surprising choice. Best limited series or anthology went to Adolescence over at Netflix. It's just a story about a kid growing up, and then
British people love making anthologies.
it's called a psychological crime drama. So maybe the kid grows up to be a murderer.
It's on Netflix, so probably.
Outstanding reality competition program went to The Traitors, beating out My Boys Survivor. Although I will say The Traitors really does float a lot on having previous Survivor contestants on it. So like really they're only good because of Survivor. No, actually The Traitors is really good. It's a really good show. If you like other reality TV, then you should watch The Traitors. Traitors should not be like your first one because I think you bring a lot to it from knowing the contestants, and they're all from previous reality TV.
I only like trashy reality TV competitions like Hell's Kitchen and Ink Master. So
Yeah, they're not bringing God, what was her name? The big ginger lady from like one of the earlier seasons we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. They're not bringing her on to
Hell's
Traitors.
Kitchen?
Yeah,
Kimmy.
yeah, we're not bringing Kimmy onto Traitors.
Kimmy from season 10, who I don't want to say untruths, but I think she like runs the Chili's now.
Oh yeah,
I think
was she on the same?
Well, she did.
She
What?
did. She used to. Was she on the same season as the like guy who kind of looked like the mole guy from Atlantis? He had his hair slicked back. It was like super Italian.
Clemenza?
Clemenza.
I don't remember if Clemenza was season 10 or season like 11 or something.
All right, you failed.
All you Clemenza fans, please leave comments and tell us. I'm not gonna look it up. Tell us if Clemenza is still alive. I hope to God he is.
Why is that the question?
My hopes aren't high.
Outstanding talk series went to the recently canceled Late Show with Stephen Colbert, just barely beating out Jon Stewart's soon-to-be-canceled Daily Show, and Jimmy Kimmel's just canceled Jimmy Kimmel Live. So,
Heyo.
there we are. Because again, presidents hate being made fun of, even though that's literally the whole point of these shows, is pointing fingers at the big man. But
It's always good to silence media with different opinions.
yeah,
Good.
it's definitely not a really dark sign of times to come.
No, no,
It's
no, no, no,
it's
no.
historically never been a bad thing to to silence anybody talking out against you.
Give it a few years, and you and me are going to be in the long walk. So don't talk too bad about it.
Well, look, I did my 30-day walking challenge. I think I might be okay.
I'm just going to sit down. You do what you got to do, boys.
Wouldn't you just turn around and start fighting the soldiers? Isn't that a better
Hey,
chance of you winning?
so one or two characters definitely tried that. I'll say that.
Well, you can't do it with just two. You gotta get all 50 or whatever guys on board.
They didn't.
Should have brought a
They
gun.
didn't.
That's how they would have got it. Best variety series went to Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, which I'll be honest, didn't realize was considered a variety series. I thought that was also a talk series, but I guess so.
Yeah. I mean, I guess to be fair, I don't actually watch the show.
Hmm.
I just occasionally catch clips where he says some incredibly correct things every once in a
Typically,
while.
yeah.
Uh, so I'm not really getting the variety part out of it, but maybe they do sketch comedy. Maybe they do
It's possible. I mean, they technically do sketch comedy on The Daily Show.
yeah.
So, but to be fair, the only other thing nominated on scripted variety series is Saturday Night Live, which has probably won 1,000 times, if I had to guess.
Probably.
So, who knows? And then live variety special went to Saturday Night Live for their 50th anniversary special, apparently beating out the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. So that's pretty exciting.
Kendrick Lamar did win something for that halftime show.
It was probably
though,
for like
somewhere.
music or like live performance or something.
And it was that thing where I think we talked about where like, oh, he could be an EGOT, but like I think he already had an Emmy. So
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
doesn't matter.
I didn't realize that there were Emmys for live performances. So
He did it on TV.
yeah, I guess so. We'll run through a couple of the actors. I don't think we need to do like the whole thing, but lead comedy actor went to Seth Rogen for The Studio, so that's really exciting. I need to watch that. I've been told almost nothing but good things, so very excited for that. Actress in a comedy series went to Jean Smart, probably from Hacks.
Probably Gene.
Jean. Lead drama actor went to Noah Weil from ER and The Pit.
From ER. Yep.
Lead actress in a drama went to Britt Lower for Severance. So that's pretty cool. Some Severance love.
Severance is the one that I need to watch for sure.
I don't have Apple, so I haven't watched any of the shows that are on Apple.
I thought I didn't have Apple, but turns out I have Apple, so
You wanna?
I need to watch Severance.
You wanna slide me a password? I'm just kidding. You don't
No,
have
but you can come over.
to. Okay. All right. We also had just a couple other ones that people were excited about. One that I'm excited about. Actress in a limited anthology series or movie went to Kristen Milioti from The Penguin. My girl, Sophia Falcone. She did it. She won the Emmy. And
Love her.
And I'm glad she did. I would
love
absolutely
to
let
see
her
it.
gas me out. Let me tell you.
Whoa,
That's what she does.
crazy.
That's her favorite thing.
that's crazy. She did do that to like the whole ass family.
But she was nice enough to save the kid, and that's all that matters. That makes her a good person.
That's cool. You know what? I'm down with that.
Outstanding supporting actor in a drama went to Tremel Tillman from Severance, and he is apparently the first black man to win that award, which is a crazy thing to say in 2025.
That is crazy.
But, you know, hey, that's...
He's gonna be in the new Spider-Man.
Do we know who he... Oh, is he the one that everyone is saying is going to be Miles Morales' dad?
I haven't heard that, but you're probably right. If I had to guess that's a rumor going around.
I just looked over at the Wikipedia page and saw his mustache, and I was like, yeah.
Isn't there a current rumor for what's his name? Oh God,
Couldn't tell you.
Mr. Black and White bad guy. What's his fucking name?
Oh, Mr. Negative?
Mr. Negative. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a rumor...
Could he-
People are thinking that Mr. Negative is going to be Stephen Yeun because
Oh,
people think that he's cast in it, and Mr. Negative typically is an Asian guy, and so they're just, I think, connecting those two dots. I could see it; it's not impossible, but I don't know. I don't remember if Stephen Yeun is confirmed to be in it or Mr. Negative is confirmed to be in it. One of those is probably true.
Steve Yeun was supposed to be in Thunderbolts. He was
He was gonna be
originally
Sentry.
cast as Sentry.
Yeah,
and so
I
I
remember
think they were like, "We'll get you back later, I guess," because he decided to go. I don't want to say make a real movie. I don't remember why he backed out.
It's
I
fair.
like the Thunderbolts.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. We
Anyway,
also had in the news today, I think that's all the awards that we're going to talk about today. Matt Reeves has been teasing who the new villain for the Batman 2 is. And by teasing, I mean, I think he was in some kind of interview and somebody asked him who it was, and he said that it's somebody who, quote, has never really been done in a movie before, which
all
doesn't
right,
necessarily mean that they've not
that they've
appeared in
never
a
been.
movie.
You're right.
The wording of it could also include people who were in movies but either not used well by his opinion or not used a lot. So really anybody who wasn't the main villain. Basically to me all this says is that it's not the Joker, Two-Face, or the Riddler.
Or
Those are the only three that I would like 100% rule out.
or the Penguin.
Yeah, probably Penguin.
I mean, I guess. Well, obviously Penguin because Penguin's literally in the
Yeah,
Batman.
like we
So
already
I don't
knew,
know what the I don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
but like yeah,
Uh,
but still.
so if we by extension rule out the other characters that were also in the Batman, Catwoman, who's not really even a villain anymore, so whatever. I feel like we can. Can we rule out Scarecrow? He was definitely done.
We I don't know. I might have ruled him out already just because of him being like sort of a more fantastical guy, and I don't know that that necessarily is something that Matt Reeves is going to go for. But I feel like he's right on that edge where like it could just be drugs. You know what I mean? And like that
Yeah,
could
I mean
work out.
that's what I feel like. If they're like, we need a grittier, grounded version of Scarecrow, they would just end up doing what Batman Begins already did.
True.
Maybe more like they could make him a main player. Scarecrow in that was more of a ended up being a side player, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Definitely, it won't be Two Face.
He's been done a lot. We've seen him a couple of times, so it just doesn't seem like that's an option based on this quote.
Nor
So
would it be Bane.
probably not. I could see
Now,
someone being like, "That's not really Bane," and like making that argument, but I also just
oh,
don't know that that would make sense.
but the person saying that forgot that Bane was in Batman and Robin.
So
This could add the fact that he's like it's never really been done in a movie before.
yeah,
That could add some weight to it being that serial killer version of Clayface that was rumored forever ago. Because he's like, Clayface has never been
true.
done. It's being done
It's
now,
being done
literally
now.
right now as we speak,
Yeah,
but it's
I
never really been done.
I feel like no, because this came in afterwards. But maybe we are okay. I don't know that they would have greenlit the Clayface movie if Clayface was already going to be the villain of this. And I know we didn't have the
Yeah.
script of this until after the Clayface movie came in. But I feel like we would have known who the villain was at least, right? Or like not we, but James Gunn would have known. Is that a crazy thing to assume?
Well, I know famously what DC likes to do in the past, before James Gunn was in charge, at least, was they're like, if one of the CW shows were like, we want to use this character, they'd be like, oh, well, we might use that in a movie, so no, you don't get to use that.
Right. That's why in the Smallville TV show, up until like season 6 or something, they were pretty sure that Chloe was just going to be Lois.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it must have been because Lois came in season 4, right? So
Well, but even
must have been
after she
around.
showed up, they still thought that they weren't going to be able to get her back because she didn't become a
Oh,
regular until later.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. So I think, not saying that James Gunn would do this for all of his fans, or if you hate him, then maybe he would do it. Who cares? But it's entirely possible that like Matt Reeves would be like, I'm going to do Clayface, and then James Gunn was like, wait, I want Clayface in my thing.
Yeah.
You don't get to do that.
I
So
I could see it going either way, I guess.
it'd be really weird if we got two Clayface things so close to each
Especially
other
because
in
they would be
separate
so
universes.
different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 I don't
I
know.
mean, I guess we did get Joker right
Yeah.
after bad a different. Oh, DC's hard sometimes.
Yeah. But
Um,
but Joker is one of those guys who like is always there. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So I feel like there's some excuse to like him showing up really close together in different iterations because everyone's like, well, it's Batman Joker's got to be there, which like I get, I do. I'm excited that this means that this is going to be another movie that doesn't have the Joker. Because that was one of my
Yeah.
concerns, really my only concern coming out of the Batman was like, oh, and now we're going to have Saltburn guy Barry Keoghan as the Joker in
Mhm.
the next one. And this
Well,
very clearly means he's not going to be the main villain.
to be fair, he played unseen Arkham inmate.
Okay.
So
All right.
we
But
we don't really know.
okay.
We don't know what that guy's deal is. If we're obviously we've only had one movie in this, what we assume will probably be a trilogy, if not
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Hopefully at least a trilogy,
And they
right?
haven't ruled out, to my knowledge, haven't ruled out a season 2 of Penguin. I think there was
Right.
some
Well,
rumbling that it might exist, but it's never been confirmed.
they keep talking about different spin-off character shows, like it's possible, like if someone shows up in Batman 2 that they can get a show, or like a
Mm.
Catwoman show was
I'd watch a Catwoman
being
show.
tossed around.
Yeah.
Where does this put us for what could potentially be Hugo Strange?
Hugo
Could
Strange
he
is a good shout.
A lot of people are saying Hush. Now, obviously, what I was gonna say was the first Batman movie, The Batman, was all about like big time corruption in the city, like to its core, like crime is running everything. So because of that, people are throwing around Court of Owls, which I think is
Yeah.
possible, but I feel like that would also be like a finale type beat for this
Sure.
story. Like that's movie number 3.
I think we talked about, I know we've talked about this before, like who we thought the villain was going to be before we had this quote.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, my prediction is still standing out. I said Black Mask, and that's still definitely an option. I don't think it's necessarily true, but it could be. And I think then, and I still feel that way, we did bring up Court of Owls, and I was like, I wouldn't want Court of Owls in the Batman because I would want them to be done the way that they are in the comics, at least the first time we see them. But in the
Right.
comics, they're like very fantastical. They've got like literally zombies, like generations old zombies that have been, kept in cold storage for decades and decades and decades. And I just don't see that happening in the Batman. So I don't know how they would handle the Talons. You know what I mean? And I also feel
Sure.
like to do the Court of Owls, you need a Bat family because it's Batman against
Oh
an
yeah, yeah,
army.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
that
don't
makes
know.
sense.
I could see it. I'm not 100% ruling it out, but I don't
But
know
it,
that it would be the
at
version
the
I would
current
want.
time, it seems more appropriate that we maybe build towards that in the DCU with something we already know is going to establish at least a Robin.
Right. We know Damien's going to be in it. And I think they've teased that there's going to be other Bat Family, although I don't know that they've said which ones. But yeah.
A lot of people, I saw a shocking amount of people, and this isn't just me making this up. This isn't fake news, ladies and
Okay.
gentlemen.
All right.
Saw a lot of comments being like, "Oh, they should do Mad Hatter." How do you feel about that?
I would be really down for that. I think Mad Hatter done in this world could be really exciting. I do think that they would have to really tone down his brain control shit. And probably just turn him into like a Wonderland themed actual gang. I don't know. Maybe he would have some kind of like brainwashing in like a torturous sense instead of like literally he puts a hat on a guy and then he can control what he does.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I
microchip
mean?
in a hat like the
I
cartoon.
I could see
They
something like that and then have him be like this master manipulator. It could definitely
he
happen.
he did do in the we always go back to Arkham because we're stupid idiots, but in Arkham he had, at least at first, like a lot of hypnosis, right?
Right.
That was a major part, and I see like that part in Get Out where she like with the teacup, she like scrapes the teacup and it like hypnotizes you.
Nah, I didn't watch that.
Oh, you should watch it. It's good. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Mad Hatter's a possibility, I
I could
suppose.
definitely see that. I definitely see that as a possibility.
But it's
I
just like it all depends on if we continue this theme of the corruption of the city. Because if that is the case, then we're not just going to throw in Man Bat or Killer Croc, right?
Yeah, I don't see anything that fantastical coming in. I think you said Hugo Strange. That feels very possible to me. I think it's going to be one of like the bigger name people who hasn't shown up yet in term like that we've already talked about where that's either Hugo Strange or Hush. I think those two make a lot of sense. And then if it's
Yeah.
not one of those two, it's going to be some fucking nobody. It's going to be Black Mask or it's going to be Calendar Man or it's going to be somebody on like that level who people don't really care about except me.
They should do Calendar Man.
I'd be down.
That'd be
Honestly,
cool.
if Matt Reeves just wants to do the long Halloween, I'm down. I'm so
Do it.
down. Like
Do
that would
it.
be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know that he will, but God, that'd be so good. Imagine just that movie, but with set dressing for every holiday. Hell
And
yeah,
it's like
dude.
it's the one thing that What's his face? I'm bad at names right now.
It's okay.
The Wizard. What's his name?
The Wizard?
The Wizard who writes comic books.
What the
Alan Moore.
fuck? Oh,
Alan Moore.
the Wizard is not a wrong, but a crazy way to describe
It's
Alan Moore.
where's the lie?
That's awful. That's so bad. Okay, so do you want to put a last stamp on, like, this is my prediction, this is who the villain's going to be? Because we'll probably find out relatively soon if they're going to start working on it. Because I think it's supposed to come out like 2027, so they're probably going to film it like early next year. We might start getting leaks about like casting and shit pretty soon.
I'm gonna not reading too much into him saying it's never really been done, because maybe that's just how he chose to phrase his sentence.
Right.
I'm gonna go with it's just never been done, and I'm gonna say Hugo Strange. Give me Dave Bautista in little glasses.
Ooh, Dave Bautista's Hugo Strange would be really fun, actually. I could see that for sure. I'm gonna stick with my guns, my James Guns, and I'm gonna say still Black Mask. Fingers crossed. It's not gonna happen, but fingers crossed. And then as an alternate, because that's obviously just me being biased, I'll say Calendar Man.
I think Calendar Man would be cool,
I'd be
especially
down.
just like the serial killer aspect of it, and they could do it. He could easily, like, he doesn't even need to be the main player. Like, he could be the sequel's version of Penguin, or he was a side player.
Right. Well, in other sort of comic book news, we are probably going to get a state of play next week. This has been rumored for a long time, and also next week is Tokyo Game Show. They usually have a state of play like somewhere around it. The only reason that we're talking about it this time, though, is because there are rumors that at the next state of play that we will also get our first real proper look at the Wolverine game. So
Yeah.
that's pretty exciting. I don't remember. Did you see the leaks or anything from when all that stuff started coming out about it? Like,
No, I
probably
remember the
over a year
teaser
ago now.
trailer. Remember the teaser trailer, but I didn't look at any leaks.
Right. Well, that'll be. I won't spoil anything for you then. We'll get your fresh reaction when the trailer may or may not come out next week. But it does sound like there's going to be
I
some.
don't know. I kind of want you to spoil it now.
Nah, you'll see it. You'll see it. You'll see it. It does look pretty. Some of the stuff looks pretty interesting. Obviously, it looks really rough in the state that we saw it in because like
Mm.
the game's years out and was even further out when we saw it. So
Mhm.
it did look pretty bad, like mechanically. But there's some interesting ideas being toyed with, and I liked the Insomniac. This is obviously being made by Insomniac for anyone who didn't know, who also did
Right.
Spider-Man, the two Spider-Man games and Miles Morales.
It's great.
And I really like all of those games. I think that they're really good. I do think that they don't take a lot of chances on them, which makes sense. You know, they have to, those games have huge budgets. And so, you know, you can't take too many risks on it because if it doesn't pay out, then that really hits you hard in the money. So like, I
Yeah.
get it, but I do really like those games. So I'm excited for this. I will say I don't like Wolverine as much as Spider-Man, like even a little bit, like not even close.
I mean, I really like Wolverine, but I don't. There's such a difference in just their rogues galleries, right? I mean, like, obviously, if you have the entire X-Men playground to work with as far as villains or side characters goes, that's
Right.
something that's big. But like, Spider-Man's rogues gallery is up there with Batman's, and just like, oh yeah, there's this guy and this guy and this
Yeah.
guy and this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy. It's like
It's
you
up
can.
there below.
It's
I'm just kidding.
well,
It's definitely like the strongest single hero rogues gallery
it's
in
definitely
in a Marvel for sure.
it's definitely below Batman because Batman has a bunch of like legitimate heaters who can go toe to toe with him like in certain ways.
Right.
Spider-Man does have a lot of goobers, but they're goobers with cool outfits. So
True. A lot of
when you get
animal
to
themed
like
guys.
redesign them in cool ways for video games, that's cool.
Right.
But yeah, right off the bat, I'm just like, who's Wolverine got? Who we working with here?
Yeah. Well, I can't speculate on that because
Sabretooth?
we know from the
You
leaks.
can't even tell me that.
No, from the leaks we know, and I'm not telling you
I'm
shit.
gonna look up. I'm gonna look up Wolverine leaks.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You're gonna see it next week. Don't do it.
Wolverine. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see a little furry animal with diarrhea.
No, that's disgusting and horrendous. But yeah, what would you want from this game?
I would want Wolverine to have claws, and then you attack people with the claws.
Right. Exciting. Great
I don't know.
input.
I don't know. This is just me who definitely has been playing less and less video games
Mhm.
the more time goes on. But I'm very much willing to wait this out, like people who have been like clamoring for this since we got the teaser. Just like it'll happen when it happens, and
Right.
then it'll probably be cool. So I haven't put a lot of thought into this so far. What do you well, no, you can't because you've seen it. You've seen the
Yeah, I mean,
diarrhea.
I can't say specifically like story things that I want because we do know like most of the story it seems like of the game. But it was a pretty aggressive league. There's a lot of diarrhea. But what I will say is mechanically, what I
Happens in a
really
long
hope
walk.
it is I hope that it's more enclosed than Spider-Man. I hope it's not as big of an open world as all of New York, because I don't understand how Wolverine's going to make that traversal feel even half as good. You know what I mean? So
They
they're going to have to find a solve for that.
Is it confirmed open world?
It's implied, yeah. I mean, we've seen some of the gameplay of it, and it looks like it should be, yeah.
You'd think you would want to put it in a more enclosed playground, like kind of linear storytelling, like small area goes place to place, like Resident Evil 8. There's a village and there's a castle and
Right.
there's a
That would
lake.
certainly that would make sense. That definitely fits more into like the PlayStation sort of catalog, sort of in the way
Yeah.
of like a like the newer God of War games where it is technically open
Right.
world, but it's like pretty enclosed.
Yeah.
That's sort of the thing that I would expect from this.
Yeah.
Less than like I wouldn't expect it to be like level based. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, this Spider-Man also kind of has to be open world because what's the first thing people are going to talk about with a Spider-Man game?
Because he
It's
wants
the
to,
web swinging
yeah,
through
he
the
wants to do the
city.
swinging.
So, but like Wolverine, that expectation isn't there. So you can build it around a more linear path.
Yeah,
And as long as the story's good and you got good character bits and cool characters show up, I think it's a slam dunk. So
yeah,
I agree with you. I hope they don't just drop him in Manhattan
yeah. Oh, for
and then
sure.
they're like,
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
there you go. Now Wolverine's got to run through the woods, right? He's in Canada or something.
I really hope that they don't like give him a motorcycle or something stupid and just make it like Insomniac's Days Gone. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see narratively something I'm concerned about is that Wolverine typically ends up becoming just like this very like macho machismo character of like, oh, he's so tough and he doesn't have emotions and blah 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 blah, and then finally at the end he breaks. And I just don't really want that. Like I don't need some stupid short hairy tough guy being like the person that everyone that I know at work misinterpreting. Like I don't need him getting put on the same level as like the Punisher. You know what I mean? Where
Mm-hmm,
it's like,
hmm
oh, he's just like a big tough guy and like people don't really understand the character at all. Like I don't know. I don't want to see this character who's just like doesn't talk much, is very tough and non-emotional. I have some concerns about the right. It's all of the same reasons why I don't really like him in the comics or any of the stories I've seen him in. I am also worried about them existing here because that is kind of just who this character is. And if they make him more emotional or make him have like an actual story arc, then people will be upset about it because the only time that you can get away with that with Wolverine is when he's dying and he's 9,000 years old. That's the only time that people allow it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Either I'm going to be happy or the people who like Wolverine are going to be happy. That's basically what it's going to come down to.
Either you or everyone else.
I just don't. Yeah, if we get a Wolverine and he's just like the gruff guy who doesn't ever really talk, he just goes "Meh," and then he claws shit up, and that's the whole game. Then I'm not even gonna buy it. I'm not gonna touch that shit. Not interested.
That's I think
Pass.
that's fair. That's fair. I don't know. It's probably as long as this game is better than that 360 era Deadpool game,
Oh
probably chalk it
yeah,
up to a win.
yeah. Oh, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be worse than that. There is also the rumor that, and I don't think we'd see it at the state of play, but there's also the rumor that the game that they're working on after Wolverine is like a spin-off Venom game, like from the Spider-Man 2. Uh, and I have similar concerns for that character, but less. because at least that's in the same universe. So at least I can be like, okay, well, there's going to be like supporting cast here that I know that I can trust. I
I
don't know.
don't know. I don't know what to say on this one.
That's true. That's
See
true.
when we see.
But in other news, one of the bigger rumors circling right now is there was a big dump online of things that are assumed about the next Assassin's Creed, which is a remake of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Did you play Black Flag? I remember you played like a bunch of them, but I don't remember if that was one of them.
I did not play Black Flag. I played so my original run with the Assassin's Creed games was the first one, the Ezio trilogy, and then the third one. And then I kind of dropped off. And then I know Black Flag is the one where 99% of everyone out there is like, this is the game. This is the one.
Right.
And then there are recent newer Assassin's Creed games where people are like, okay, we're working with something here. That we're coming back. We're so back, as they say.
Yeah. For most
Um,
people, Black Flag was like the last good one for a long time.
mm,
And then we didn't get another like widely agreed to be good one until probably Odyssey, which was like 4 or 5 games later. So there was a pretty big gap there.
right.
There are people who really liked Syndicate and there are people who really liked Origins, but generally speaking, yeah, we got a pretty big gap after that.
Okay.
So, but yes, this is the pirate one where you roll around as Edward Kenway. So there are
Is this
some connections to Assassin's Creed 3 at least.
right? I did remember that being a thing. Is this gonna be like anything like we ground up redid some stuff, or is this we slap a new coat of paint on this?
It seems like it's mostly going to be that second one. The rumors are, in my opinion, pretty half and half in terms of like some are good and some are bad. Because some of the rumors are that they've scrapped the modern storyline, which for 4 at least is a good thing because in 4 the modern
That's like
storyline,
the video game tester thing,
yeah,
right?
you're a QA
Yeah.
tester at fake Ubisoft, and they use the Animus to like get video game ideas or some shit. It really sucked and was just a distraction. And then my other biggest concern or complaint with Black Flags, because I liked it well enough. I think it's wildly overrated, but I liked it well enough.
Mm,
My other bigger concern was like by the end of the game, there's like you meet a bunch of pirates along the way, obviously like historic pirates like Blackbeard and Anne Bonny and all that shit.
mhm, mhm,
And
mhm.
at the end of the game, there's a bit, no spoilers, but there's a bit where Edward is looking around. And he's like, "Wow, look how far we've come. Look at all these cool guys." And I was like, I don't know who any of these fuckers are because like you don't spend like any time with them. And
Right, they're just there.
yeah, it's like they're kind of just around. And one of the other things that they said is because they're cutting the future stuff, they're going to put in some of the cut content, which was a lot of content with those characters. And so that for me is very positive. That's like, okay, cool. Yeah, like
Sure.
we've got some ideas. We're cooking. And then they also said, because it's a modern game, that they're going to cut out loading screens so there won't be any loading between going on land and getting on your boat. And I think that could potentially be really interesting because
Mhm.
as it stands now, it's very hub based where basically you like park in a glowing circle and then it's like loading Kingstown or whatever. So not having that, all positives, all positives. The only negative that is in these rumors, which again, just rumors, is that they're also saying that they're going to add in the like leveling system and some of the RPG mechanics from the newer ones where it is very much an RPG like Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, those ones.
Mhm.
And I don't dislike those games. I just don't think that ever really felt good for Assassin's Creed to me because in those games what that means is that if a person's higher level than you and you sneak up behind them to try and assassinate them, sometimes you just can't kill them because they're stronger than you.
Oh,
Yeah. Which it doesn't happen storyline wise, like when you're doing an assassination mission, that never really
yeah, no,
happens.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like guards for that assassination mission
If
sometimes.
you
And you're
if
like,
you
this kind of sucks.
take the time to actually sneak up on a guy and then you do it successfully, but because you're not high enough level, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
That kind of defeats the purpose of being a goddamn assassin,
Yeah. Like
probably.
it does big damage to him, but yeah, it's basically just like in D&D it'd be like a sneak attack. So you do like a one really big hit and then they spin around on you and kick your ass. You know. And so that's always been like one of the things people really hated about the RPG ones. You can generally avoid it if you just like do some of the side content and level up. It's not a huge deal. Like honestly, I didn't run into that being an issue too much. But it is a thing where I'm like, do I really want to be playing as Edward Kenway and be like, oh, now I've got a level 4 tricorder hat, and so I can now I have better accuracy on my like. I don't fuck no. I don't want to do that shit. That's not what Assassin's Creed is to me.
Too much micromanaging.
What I really want, and this isn't part of the rumors, but what I really want is for them to bring over the modern boat mechanics, because the old boat mechanics from like 3, 4, those like the earlier ones, kind of sucked ass because you didn't know anybody on your crew except Adewale, who was your like helmsman. But
Sure.
Every other person, it would be like when when your ship got shot, it would just say -1, and it was like, oh, one of my crew members died, and then you would like run over a piece of flotsam after you sank a ship, and it'd be +1. It'd be like, oh, we conscripted this guy off of a trading vessel or some shit, and that was all it was. They didn't have names. You never really saw them. They weren't characters. I would really like it if they added from Odyssey, where you build up a crew and they don't really like have a story necessarily, but it's like some of them do, where it's like when you do a side quest or something, sometimes the reward is you can ask that guy to join your crew. Right? Because that shit's really cool in Odyssey. Or even if they just make it where you can like, go out and actually conscript your guys like how you did in Brotherhood, which is another thing. Well, that's also in Odyssey to some extent. So like that's part of it as well. Just bring that over. Just bring the exact shit that you had in Odyssey and put that in this one, and I'll be a lot happier. Because that was one of the things that I really disliked about this game. Is everyone was like, "Oh my god, the boat's so great," and in these earlier games, I was like, "No, it's not. It fucking sucks. Like this boat shit's fucking lame." Because it's the exact same boat shit from 3. You played 3. The boat shit's like it's nothing. It's fine.
I didn't care. I also don't understand the hyping of the boat stuff in 3.
It's better in the later ones. I would say in Odyssey, and I didn't play Valhalla, but I would assume Valhalla. Like the boat stuff is fun. There's some stuff in there for sure. It's still not my favorite part of the game by any stretch, but like, there's some better ideas being thrown around in there. And I really, really hope if they're going to take the time to remake this, like put in bonus content, that they make the boat shit better.
Yeah.
Which I know for a lot of people is going to be like, oh my god, I can't believe he's saying that, because like this is a lot of people's favorite one. But I think people even have to admit like the boat shit has gotten a lot better since then.
Yeah, I mean, even if you really fucked with Black Flag back in the day, it is what 14, 13 years old,
something like that. Yeah, I think it came out around the same time that the Xbox One launched, so like 2013.
I don't know. Right? When we talked about the Oblivion remake, the point came up of like they left in all these glitches and all these like fuck ups, because if you took them out, it would kind of take away from Oblivion and people would be mad, right? Like right. the botched voice line or whatever. But I also say, like, if you had taken out like the part where like you're on a story quest and then people stop going where they're supposed to be going because you didn't pick up an item that I guess you were supposed to pick up, maybe fix that part. Right?
For sure.
Like the technology is advanced. You're going out of your way to be like, we're gonna fix up this game. Well, then you should actually fix it up some.
Absolutely. So like, fix the bad bugs, leave the good ones.
Yes, you have to differentiate. Like a pros and cons list.
Yeah, like if you're doing the Fallout 3 shit, don't fix the bug where what's his name? The merc that you get from Megaton.
Jericho?
Yeah, don't fix the one where Jericho smokes through his helmet. Don't fix that one.
Yeah, don't.
But maybe fix the one where sometimes you turn the camera a certain direction and just everything turns black.
Specifically in Fallout 3, there's that bug that makes it so that the DLC armor that you get from Anchorage like doesn't degrade until it takes like a super ass ton of damage. They're gonna fix that. That's gonna be the one thing they fix. And then the sky's still gonna like glitch out. But they're gonna make it so that the best armor in the game is bad now.
Yeah. I would say in the Oblivion remake, now we're just talking about the Oblivion remake. But yeah, well, in that one they did fix a lot of like the things that caused quests to break and not work. They fixed seemingly a lot of it, because you can look at the bug report and there's tons that they fixed.
Sure.
But they didn't fix the ones that are like hacks to level up faster. So they didn't fix the one where you can just like pick a lock and then just mash X on it forever until you get to 100 lock picking. They didn't fix that one. I was like, oh yeah,
That is good. So that's basically what we're talking about is make Assassin's Creed cool
yeah,
and take out the bad.
absolutely, absolutely. Because on paper, this is the Assassin's Creed with pirates. That's a fucking slam dunk. And
Yeah,
for
it
a
should
lot of
be.
people back in the day, it was. But I feel like if they went back to it now as is, it'd be really clunky for them.
The standards have changed,
Yeah,
so
we have moved forward as a people, and in some ways back. But
we've definitely moved back as a people, but as people who play video games, our expectations should be a little
yeah,
higher.
for sure, for sure. Well, speaking of our expectations should be higher, the last story I have for us today is that Borderlands 4 has launched. Exciting,
Right.
I know. Have you?
Um,
You didn't play 3, did you?
no,
No.
no.
Okay, it's not good.
I played 1 and 2, and with a mutual friend of ours, fucked around a little bit with like the Telltale series that they did.
Right. Okay. Did you
I
do any
didn't
of
play
the?
the prequel,
Okay. Oh, I did play that one. I
and
didn't even think about it.
I didn't play 3 because said mutual friend who is like he would take these as fighting words, but he's like the Borderlands guy of the group.
Is it Christian?
Yes, it is
Okay.
Christian.
All right.
It is the man that we went to see the Borderlands movie with and had just a fantastic time, didn't we?
I mean, the movie was bad, but I thought we had a good time. Yeah,
He said like don't touch 3. This game is dog ass.
it is.
So
Yeah. Has he been playing for it? I haven't talked to him about it. I'll ask him. I'll text him after this.
should check his Steam.
Yeah. So it's getting sort of mixed reviews, wherein the professional reviews gave it, I think it's sitting last I saw an 83 on Metacritic. That's what I wrote down at the time that I pulled notes for this episode. It may have changed slightly since then, but 83 on Metacritic, which is pretty good. That's like pretty high. A lot of reviewers obviously skew higher in modern era, where like anything below a 7 is actually like ass trash.
Right.
But sitting at an 83, which is good. But the awkward thing is like a lot of those reviews don't take performance into account because and it happens it's not just for this game. Most games, when they play the game, they are playing it under the assumption that by the time it actually launches, because they're playing it pre-release, that the bugs will be fixed, which is, I think, a bold fucking assumption.
Definitely now, yeah.
Yeah, and now I understand wanting to write a review or like score it without the bugs in mind, because you want your review to be sort of long standing. And even if they don't fix it by launch, a lot of those bugs are going to get fixed eventually. And so if someone comes back and lets you review in like 2 years, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, what the fuck? Like, you gave it a 6 because it doesn't work, but like works good for me. That's all they're going to know. And so like, I understand it. Like, I understand the idea for it. But I say all that to say this game is broken right now, apparently.
We're talking like Cyberpunk broken or
In different ways, but yes. So Cyberpunk was broken in a way where it was fundamentally ground up broken. Like, all of the quests didn't trigger, the textures didn't load, everything about it was just really badly made. This one, it seems like it's just really badly optimized. So it literally just doesn't run well. Like, the frame rate is super bad. Apparently it's very CPU aggressive, and so even if you have like a 5090, it'll still run sometimes at like 10 frames a second, because it doesn't give a shit what your GPU is, even though that's typically what video games use. It's looking at this other card that people don't really like, it's just not built for that. Like, that's not what that is supposed to do. Right. And so like, it will get fixed at some point, but right now, sometimes, especially when you run certain builds, the game will just basically look like it's frozen, because it will sometimes run at sub 1 frames a second, and that's not a joke.
Oof.
Yeah. So it's not doing great, but fortunately our medieval king, Randy Pitchford, has handled it really well, by telling all of the fans who paid money for his game that it's actually their fault.
Oh. Okay. Do go on, Randy.
So he's been going off on all kinds of social medias.
While we talk about Randy Pitchford, would it be too much to ask that on the YouTube version
I'm not
of this?
putting that picture up.
Please.
I am not putting that picture up. It is too suggestive.
Randy Pitchford.
I am
Come
not
on, man.
doing it. No.
All right.
No.
Well, everyone listening at home,
Post
You
it
could
on
just
your socials.
that's too much to ask. If you just look up Randy Pitchford and then I think the word bathroom.
It's a picture of Randy Pitchford on his knees in a bathroom looking sad, and it is Skyler's favorite picture on the planet, and I refuse
No,
to put it in here.
no. I wouldn't say it's my favorite picture on the planet, but how can you not think of this picture whenever the name Randy Pitchford comes up?
The only reason I do is because I know you. For better and for worse, I know you.
Man, he's got the most bloodshot eyes, and he's next to the toilet on his knees, hands behind his back, possibly tied. We
Who's
don't
to
know his
say?
hands aren't tied.
Who's to say?
So something's going on with Randy there. But yeah, this is the man
Yeah.
what did he say? This is my
He,
fault for what?
well, not your fault because you didn't buy it.
No, and I
Um,
won't. Let's get that clear.
the problem he claims is that people are just not running the game correctly. So, and a lot of the like weird fan base is also jumping on this boat because of course they are. Where a lot might be a stretch. Enough of the fan base in like very loud and shitty circles
The loud majority, of course.
are jumping on
They're
it.
the best.
Yeah, oh for sure, we love that. And they're being like, okay, well, like you're just gonna have to nerf your character. You can't do this build, or this build because those ones like do this, and then that makes the game run bad. And or like you have to go into the settings and change this, and this, and do all of these things, and then it'll run at like 30 frames a second instead of 10. And you're like, well, okay, 30 is like more acceptable, but like if I have to do all this homework just to make the game like run, and it runs especially badly on PC, it doesn't run great on consoles, but it's like, no, man, like you can't put out a game that is apparently good when it runs well, but put it out in this state and then be like, actually, it's your fault. Like, that's insane. That's a crazy take.
That's
So it's getting review bombed to shit on Steam right now, which is, I think, a little fair.
yeah, I mean, review bombing is always rough, but like, hey, if your game doesn't run, I wouldn't even call that review bombing. I would say you suck.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because, like, it is technically review bombing, but, like, when the lead developer, the director of the game, is coming out and telling you, like, this game doesn't work and that's the player's fault, it's like, brother, what are you talking about? Like, you can't do that.
How much is this game to buy on Steam right now?
At least 70, maybe 80.
$70. That's cool.
Yeah, it's insane. And another thing that he's had to come out and talk about is how he promises us, he promises that Borderlands 4 does not install spyware on your computer. He wanted to be very sure that he made sure to tell everyone, apropos of seemingly nothing, that it does not install spyware on your computer, and it does not harvest your information with spyware on your computer.
Randy,
and or turn your computer into a crypto mine.
I wasn't thinking about that until you said it.
Yeah.
So,
But hey, just so you know, it's not that.
Yeah?
It's not that. For sure it's not that. He said, unasked.
Oh.
He claims that he said all of it because he thought that there was a thing. I guess maybe somebody was asking. I guess there's a thing because they're owned by 2K now. They recently got sold by Embracer and bought by 2K.
Okay.
Or Take-Two. Whatever. It's the same company, but I always say 2K and then people get mad because it's technically Take-Two, but whatever.
Well, get mad in the comments and leave us lots of
yeah,
engagement.
do it. But apparently there's a thing in like their part of the, I don't know, compliance shit that you sign that says something that he felt he needed to defend against in terms of spyware. But like no one was asking. I promise you, it would not have made the news if he hadn't said anything.
I'm a little Randy, I kind of feel like you're putting spyware on my computer.
I feel like weirdly, and I wouldn't have felt like that if you just said nothing.
Yeah, you could have just not said it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's apparently the game's pretty good. I don't know if this is just me like aging out of the kind of humor that Borderlands has. I have not we went back and we played Borderlands 1 semi recently. I didn't finish it.
Most of it,
and
until we all collectively, the four of us, said we're done.
Yeah, and I was just kind of like, man, I just don't think that this game franchise is like for me anymore. And I've played I think all of them up to this point. I played 1, 2, 3. I played pre-sequel, although I didn't finish it. I played the Telltale one. I've done my time in this particular mine, and I think I'm just kind of done. Like I
Yeah.
look at the new playable characters and they don't do anything for me. I hear some of the jokes that are in it and I'm like, yeah, all right. Like I'm not mad at it. I'm not upset. I'm a little upset about the spyware thing, I guess. But like I'm not. I don't look at it and I'm like, this is poopy doo doo. But I just could like it is. I don't really understand the emotion that I have towards it and why I am so just powerfully uninterested. You know what I mean? I feel like Randy Pitchford is like a kid who's run up to me and he's like, Daddy, look at this. And then he's doing some like mundane trick I've seen 5,000 times. You know what I mean?
He pisses himself.
He pisses himself on a bathroom floor with Scrabble tiles all over it.
Hey, everybody, watch this. Just you see the color change on his pants.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Thank you, Randy.
I don't know. Like I'm sure that if I played it, I'd be like, yep, that's a game. That sure is fine. And I wouldn't really hate it or anything, but I just cannot bring myself to care. And I don't know what that is.
Definitely not going to install it on my computer now, though.
No, certainly not. No. Don't do that. It runs
Even
like shit on Steam, especially. So do not. If you're gonna play PSA, if you're gonna ever play this game, don't play it on Steam. Play it on a console because it apparently runs like actual dog shit on PC.
There's a solid chance that Randy is actually being truthful here, and he's like, when he says that, like, if people are worried about spyware, there's no spyware. Like, thanks, but I don't know, man. The way this information has been given to me, I don't feel like I trust you right now.
I definitely don't. But to be fair, I wouldn't have really trusted Randy Pitchford too much even before this.
Well, look at the picture. You can't trust that man.
I'm just saying.
Flash it for one frame.
I'm not doing it
On the YouTube
it's
video. You have to, the people deserve to see.
Guys, if you want to see this picture, you can find it on Skyler's social media account. That is Skyler8bit at Blue Sky. You can find it there. He'll post it there. I can't post. It's too suggestive. We'll get demonetized.
If I post that, I can't. See, here's why I can't post the picture. Because it's going to change my Blue Sky algorithm into something I don't want it to be.
Well, I'm sorry. It's your favorite picture. How could it possibly hurt your algorithm?
Not my favorite picture.
You do like it though.
It's just I feel culturally relevant.
But yeah, I don't know. So the game's done pretty good. I'm not even trying to say that the game's bad. I think it's been a good little late pickup for Abrar's fantasy critic team, so that'll help him out. But yeah, I just have zero interest in playing this game.
He's still gonna finish like next to last though.
For sure. Well, I don't know. There's a couple people in Fantasy Critic who haven't picked up other games since we drafted, so maybe I'll have to remind them in a little bit here.
That's why I said next to last.
Yeah. Well, guys, if you want to tell me how much you love Borderlands 4 and how I can get good and make the game run properly on my platform of choice, even though I haven't bought it and probably won't play it, you can leave a comment on Spotify and YouTube telling me all about the ways that I can go fuck myself. Or you can follow the show on Twitter at @RSR_POD. You can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daniel J. McGee.
You don't need to follow me on social media this week. Just look up that Randy Pitchford picture that I will not be posting. I can't stress that enough. But
all right, okay.
You can you look at that man and you'll never play a Borderlands game again. I can promise you that for free.
Ironically, I kind of feel like if you look at that picture, you'll be like, no, yeah, that makes sense. Like if all you know is Borderlands and you look at that picture, you'd be like, yeah, that's about right.
This is epic. What an epic picture of this man.
Epic japes. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching this far into the video. Please hit subscribe, share it with your friends, do everything that we and every other content creator on the planet would love you to do. And until next time, we'll see you around.
Bye-bye.
The game's just starting, the world's so bright. Jump right in, everything feels right. Press play, take a trip back in time where pixels and memories intertwine. Come on in, it's time to play. Let's rewind to yesterday. The fun begins, we're here to stay. Ready, set, replay. Come on in, it's time to play. Let's rewind to yesterday. The fun begins, we're